What's up to all my lovelies? Shay Love back at you again. Got some wine, got some review. Let's get into it. Alright, tonight I will be reviewing Kandi and The Gang, Rowdy Employees, and Uptight Managers. I am drinking on no promotion, but just want to show you guys. Just want to show. Alright, let me get my first sip in. We're going to get into it. Alright, so you guys, the scene opens up with Torn and Philip, basically where it left off on episode 2. Torn and Philip having their little clash, ego to ego, macho y macho, head to head, like, back and forth with one another. And basically, Torn let him have it just like Philip gave it to him. Torn was not scared at all, and as you should not be, Torn. Like, that's what's up. Torn was like, okay, so um, I'm still trying to figure out who you are. Like, you're telling me how I'm not really credible for my job, but how are you credible for your job? I mean, you don't want to open up the conversation. I could have been over here doing my work, measuring my tables like I have been, but you the one that wanted to have a small conversation with me, and you come with me with all this energy. So now that I'm sending it back to you, you want to get mad and rowdy. So I'm like, yeah, I'm with you on that, Torn. Like, hell yeah. So Torn gets upset. He goes back to OLG because this was in the event area. He goes back to OLG and he sees Kandi, and immediately he tells Kandi what happened between Philip and him. And Kandi was just like, "Oh my God, are you serious? Like, what the hell's going on between y'all two?" Basically trying to catch tea. Philip walks past, and hey, they do their little. And Torrance said, "This dude is fake as fuck." I would have been the same way. Nigga fake. Like, mm. Um, so Philip goes to talk to Don Juan. And basically Don Juan is like, what just happened? Like, oh gosh. I love me some Don Juan because Don Juan just be trying to help make things go afloat, and he just be trying to do it the most justice and the most honest way possible. So, he was just basically like, hold on, you guys. Yeah, so Philip is complaining, throwing a bitch fit, and Kandi comes over and she's like, okay, what's going on between y'all two? Cause what? And Philip was basically like, yeah, he's not somebody I would want to work with. Um, Not somebody that I want to work with. So on days that he's working, since he's working on events, y'all gonna have to deal with him. And Kenny said, hold your brakes. Hold your brakes because I hired you and you did this over at Blaze and you said that you can work any crisis management. So somebody coming in and y'all are just not seeing eye to eye. I don't think that's a big crisis management. I think that's an ego thing, and that's something that you're gonna have to work out on. I added an ego thing because that's what it is. It's an ego thing. And Philip, Kandi goes away, and that is basically that. So you guys, I'm gonna be upfront and honest with you. I have two laptops right now, and I wrote most of my notes on my original laptop, and my original laptop died, and my charger is not working. So I wrote the rest of my notes on here. So I literally have half the notes. So I'm going off of memory right now. So excuse me if I'm taking a little bit longer to gather my thoughts, even though I do take a long time to gather my thoughts. is this wine? I'll already be drinking a little glass before I start recording. And then I'm on my number 2. So after this, Torin meets with Patrick, and basically, Torin, you know what? Even though you go on that side, you are a very handsome man. Like, Patrick, you handsome too, but you're just not my cup of tea. But Torin, you are very handsome. And you dressed like that whole little fit that you had on with the toe. It was a really good look for you. It was like the manliness was coming out of you. I was like, okay, Torin. I see you, Torin. So, yeah, so Torin goes to check out Patrick's apartment, and you know, he was like, okay, it's a nice apartment. I'm excited to see what Torin offers, like, for their housewarming. So I'm excited to see, because I think Torin's going to deliver. Let's just see. And so there was a part where Patrick showed Torin this closet, and he basically was like, yeah, this closet is my nasty boy closet, or my nasty closet. I want all my sex toys to be in here. So he said he want his whips, he want his chains, he want everything up in there to be hanging up. And I'm just being subtle right now. Eventually I'm gonna be saying it all, but right now I'm just being subtle. But whips and chains and this and that and swings and that, you know, he wants all of that for him and his boo Safari. So speaking of Safari, he showed Torin this very mediocre ass painting or artwork of, and you know, I'm not gonna say it's mediocre, because some people like, you know, just that type of rugged type of art. And it was not all the way horrible. I liked how big it was. It was like, even though it's not the prettiest jaguar or tiger or whatever animal cat it was huge. So it was like, oh, you could put a whole bunch of stuff around it and make it look good. So I was like, okay, I'm down for it. So yeah, that was basically that. He talks about Safari and how Safari changed his life, and yeah, he's with and he love her. So I'm on my other computer right now, you guys, and I'm just, you know, going through, just making sure I don't miss anything. So yeah, it's the next day at the OLG, and basically everybody's running all over the place. You guys know how it is when, as soon as, especially waitresses, as soon as you open up, there's a rush, or as soon as rushes start coming in, everybody hands on deck, everybody trying to figure out what they need to be doing to help smooth everything over as best they can for the shift. So that's basically what's going on. Brian hands on deck, Chandrika hands on deck, and yeah, so the only person that's not hands on deck is the one that's not there, and that's Dom Unique. So Dom Unique is what Brian say, a whole day late. She is so far an hour late, and she's the only bartender right now. So people are ordering drinks. People gotta say that we don't have drinks right now because our bartender's not in, because we don't got nobody behind the bar. And this is where the frustration of working at a restaurant, this is like the truth of that type of frustration. Sometimes people be late. Sometimes people call out before the shift is and y'all are short staffed. Sometimes people just decide not to come in at all. So that really is the truth in the restaurant business. Like, that's just what it is, and people just gotta do what they can. So yeah, so everybody's waiting for Dom Unique. While everybody's waiting for Dom Unique, Brandon sitting his big mouth wide ass at the damn bar, eating some chicken, some macaroni, tearing that shit up. Like, I'm talking about tearing that shit up. And you know, Chandrika noticing it, like, why the fuck is Brandon sitting around? Brian noticed it, and Brian like, what you sitting around for? Like, we need drinks made. Like, come behind this bar. And speaking of, Brian starts to step in to make the drinks. And what Brian's frustration is that He said, y'all know that, I'm just going through this big thing with alcoholism and my drinking problem. And it started out working behind the bar at OLG. So, knowing this, y'all still okay with me making these drinks and nobody can step up to make the drinks. That really does frustrate him because he's like, the show still got to go on. Somebody still got to get the job done. And it's frustrating that I got to get the job done. So, and I feel him on that. I really do feel him on that, like, definitely. So, later on in the day, Dom Unique finally comes in, and y'all, when they turn the cameras on this restaurant and how dirty the restaurant is, I about lost my mind. I literally about lost my mind. You guys, I worked at Applebee's, I worked at Zaxby's, I worked at McDonald's, I worked at an all-black restaurant, just like an OLG. And, for the most part, they keep that junk, not always, but clean enough. That shit was nasty as fuck. Like, that was nasty. And so I was not, like, even though Dom Unique was late, that was kind of like her get back. Like, girl, behind this bar is a hot ass mess. And she like, are y'all serious? Like, as soon as she coming in, hey y'all, good vibes. I just finished my dance practice. It was lovely. And she come into a dirty ass, like, area that she working in. I would be pissed too. I wouldn't even want to drink. I wouldn't even want to drink behind that bar. I can only imagine how the kitchen is. And I hope the kitchen is better than that. Do they be passing their inspection? Do they got a grade A? I need to do some research on that. So, Chandrika complains to Philip. Philip comes to her and he's like, how do you think the day is going? And she's like, it's dysfunctional as fuck. Like, Chandrika, she is very much so, like Philip said, she's one of those that she is going to point out when she do above what her job pay is like. She's going to let it be known that she had to do manager work. And, I know people like you, Chandrika. You have a great potential, but your priorities may not be right. I don't want to base your life off of what this show is showing, but it's showing me certain things may not be fully prioritized for yourself. That you can show how you can be a leader and really be in that leadership role and really step yourself up to be a manager without the attitude, being a good person, and yeah. So she's like, I did get a different light from Chandrika this episode. A different light, She do got a soft heart, and she is a good person at the end of the day. So she talks about how Dom Unique coming in late and how Brandon is chilling and eating at the bar. And Philip basically is like, I noticed your hard work, good job. Good for you, Philip, for praising employee besides always bringing them down. So good for you. I'm glad that you did that. That was good to see. That was a good moment, So, Philip goes to meet with Brandon, and basically like, yo, with the other manager, and basically, Philip was like, yo, man, like, there's people out in this restaurant right now that's doing more than what you're doing right now, and you basically gotta shape up, like, what's going on, and we can't be having this, like, you can't be so passive with things and everything like that. So okay, boom. So I'm gonna make a little side note. I still think Dom Unique is using this TV thing to play with Brandon, because, girl, you coming in late, that is a no-go. Like, as late as you are, that is a big no-go. And I think the fact that Brandon is a manager, Brandon's slow, Brandon likes you, and you take all of that to your advantage. That's what I believe. I mean, I don't think it's a necessarily bad thing because a lot of women do that to get by at work. That's why she coming in late, as late as she is, and smiling. And all she gotta do is smile at Brandon and do this. So, and he good. He is good. Like, come on. So after work, the staff meet at a bar, and basically it was Torin, it was Brian, um, Dom Unique, Brandon, Patrick, Melvin. Um, I think I named about everybody. And Chandrika came in later with her boyfriend June. Okay, I see what this is going to be. Okay, cool. And basically, what I mean by that is, I don't see why Chandrika would bring June to. Why would Chandrika bring June to the bar? Like, I don't see that. And everybody's face was like, like, ugh, guys are just, ugh. Anyway, moving on. So, we're back at OLG. I'm guessing this is the next day. Brian and Rashard meet each other, and I guess they're about to have lunch, and Brian's working. I don't know if Rashard is working, but I know for sure Brian is working. And Rashard was basically like, you can't be sitting at the bar while you're at work. And right across, a couple of people down, you see Brandon at the bar, and Brian basically like, I'm following leadership. I'm doing what I want to do. You know how it is when you get comfortable at a job and you just do what the hell you want to do. I'm not saying you per se, but you have seen an employee like that. I don't do that. I've seen employees like that all the time, and I be the one actually busting my ass and doing shit. And I just be like, oh, well, I can't wait till they weed this person out. And Brian, you have a great personality. You are awesome. But Brian, a part of me feels that Brian do his work. But I don't know. He probably playing around too much. I don't know. So Brandon addresses Brian. Brian laughs at Brandon's face and asks him, okay, I'll get up from the bar, but can you pull my chair, please? Can you pull my chair? And they're going to bust out laugh like, stop playing with your manager like that. Even though he is a fucking goofball. Fucking goof. So, Don Juan sets Brian straight. Okay, my bad, you guys. I'm skipping. So, basically, Brian goes to Philip, and Brian is just like, this just happened. This just happened, and I told Brian to leave from the bar. He basically laughed at me, and Philip was like, oh no, that's a problem. Philip goes to Don Juan. Don Juan said, let's address it. So now Brian, Don Juan, Philip, and Brandon all sitting at the table. They're at this table, and basically they're addressing the issue that just happened. And Brandon's just like, you basically undermined when I told you to get up. You took me as a joke. And Philip was like, okay, that was cute, Brandon. Listen, Brandon being light on you. I don't like you. I'm ready to cut you. Like, I ain't with it. Like, I don't like you. And Brandon and, no, not Brandon, excuse me, y'all. Brian and Philip goes into a little back and forth. And Philip was like, well, I know what you've been through, or I know I walked in your shoes, and she was like, you ain't walked in my shoes. I wear size 8. What do you wear? And he was like, oh, see, this is not what I'm about to do. I'm not about to do this. Just want to let y'all know you're suspended. And he's like, on what grounds? Y'all got dramatic and very catty and very diva. Y'all was giving very diva and very catty at that moment. And once again, Philip, it's an ego thing. When somebody challenges your ego, you get so easily offended, and you be ready to just shun them because you have that power to do that. And you really got to catch yourself with that. Like, you really got to catch your ego when it comes to things like that, okay? So at that point, Don Juan was like, What the hell wrong with you? Come here, because you being loud up in this restaurant. And you got me effed up. Basically, Don Juan's like, if you F up my money by trying to, no. So he pulls Brian to the side, and he was basically like, at the end of the day, this is your manager. And you cannot be all willy-nilly doing what you think you want to do like you did before the last time you was working at OLG. It's a new time that you're working at OLG. Things are changing. You cannot be showing your ass all the time and thinking that shit is cute. Because somebody going to go ahead and cut you when you really need some type of opportunity. And this is your last opportunity. And Don Juan made a good point in the confessionals. He's basically saying he made that point for Brandon, but he also said, all right now, Philip, this is the third fight I had to, basically clear up for you. One was with Chandrika, one was with Torrin, and then now we have Brian. You gonna have to pipe it down some yourself as well. Like, you gonna have to tone it down. And then you talking to me crazy, you talking to Kandi crazy. Like, you really gonna have to pipe it all the way down. And Philip, you really do, like, it's gonna take experience and somebody to really pipe you down to that point. And I don't want that for you, Philip. I really don't. And it's gonna really break you down. And I don't want that for you. But you really throwing a temper tantrum, as Don Juan said. And you know what, Philip? Don Juan is not part of the problem. That little recording that you made when you ran off because you was mad at Kandi and you was mad at Don Juan earlier in the episode, and you said, see, this is what I'm talking about. Maybe you wasn't mad at Kandi, because there was 2 times when you and Don Juan had an encounter, but in the episode. But after the fact, you're going to go away and talk about, well, Don Juan probably a part of the problem, too. He's not part of the problem. And don't do that. He's probably one of the biggest glues in that restaurant in the background. So don't do Don Juan, Philip. You'll be more temporary than Don Juan will ever be. And so, yeah, y'all, that basically wraps up episode 3, Rowdy Employees and Uptight Managers. You guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm trying to shorten up my reviews now, and yeah, it's going to be some more goodies coming in, some good edits, and some more new stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed, and bye, lovelies.